I want to bring in Democratic Florida State Senator Shervin Jones, who represents Miami-Dade County, which includes a large portion of the Everglades. As you watch this unfold, you see the president there, you see your governor there, and the reporting that there could be people arriving as soon as tomorrow. What are your concerns?
Well, first, thank you for having me. It's disgusting. What's happening in the Everglades isn't immigration enforcement. It's absolute political theater. When we know we have heat indexes over 100 degrees, we are in the middle of summer and we are preparing for hurricane season. And this is how the governor and the president decides to do this. And I want to make it clear that this facility was pushed through using emergency powers, not because of a real emergency, but to sidestep public input in the legislative oversight. We just came out of a 60 plus 45-day legislative session. If this was so right, why didn't the governor bring this before the legislature? The Senate Democrats, we sent a letter to the governor's office with a series of questions. Why haven't any of those questions been answered? And to add insult to injury, you have the Republican Party of Florida who are using this as a tactic to raise money. When you have individuals who have been stripped from their families, when you have individuals right now who are in limbo in there waiting for due process. But this is the political route that the legislature and that the president has gone through. But it's par for the course.
Well, let me just point something out. There is something called the Immigration Nationality Act. And that act says immigration detention is not supposed to be punitive. I mean, that could be an opening for legal opposition to this new facility, but it's not run by ICE. It's being run by the state of Florida, and they're getting reimbursed from FEMA. So who has oversight?
Well, I can't tell you who have oversight about it, but I'm very curious about the $450 million that Homeland Security said that Florida will be reimbursed back for. Are we talking about the same FEMA that this administration that said they want to defund? Come on. The legislature, the Trump administration should stop playing in the American people's faces. Be honest. You know what you're doing. The president of the United States and his administration, they are doing this because they want to seem as if they're being tough on crime. And it's absolute opposite. What you are doing is dehumanizing. Yesterday, we had a press conference with Haitian nationals who are here as they prepare to end TPS. I had a mother come up to me crying because her and her child are trying to get through the due process, but now are going to have to go back to inhumane conditions. And to add insult to injury, you have the state of Florida who wants to put a detention center, Alligator Alcatraz, in the middle of nowhere, and they call that enforcement of immigration policy. It's cruel, and again, it is par for the course for what the Trump administration has done for the past 100+ days.
The real Alcatraz, as you know, was known for holding the country's actual most notorious and dangerous criminals. In fact, now we've seen that only a fraction of the people currently being detained by ICE have actually committed violent crimes. So who do you think is going to end up there?
Well, I would not be surprised if individuals were not illegal immigrants end up there. And you just made it clear. The Alcatraz was built to house the most dangerous criminals in America. This place is detaining TPS holders, day laborers, and parents who haven't even had a chance to go before a judge. They're not being locked up because they're a threat. They're being locked up because they're vulnerable and politically useful. And that is not enforcement. That's bullying.
Florida State Senator Shervin Jones, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you for having me.